is Zanjibil Morrison. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Norwich. I'm Muslim, and I like travelling, and I've been a few places, not that many, but I hope to go a few more. And I get homesick when I go away, but I still want to go away again. I want to learn a few languages. I've always wanted to learn a lot of languages, but I'm 16 and I only know English, so I'm going to have to lower that. I like writing. I'm not sure if I want to be a writer, but professionally, but it's something I like doing. My favourite subject is English, and Shakespearean studies I enjoy a lot, probably the most. My parents are Jamaican, and I was brought up in Norwich. I think I have 7 siblings, mostly older than me, just one younger brother. And I was home educated in Norwich, taught by my family and my parents and their friends, and I was taught with my friends as well. Okay, so what would you say your upbringing was like?
My upbringing, I think I had a sound family foundation. Mother and father. I come from a large family of 8 siblings, and I'm the 9th one. So you can imagine, quite good upbringings, I think. Nice, solid.
Okay, and your parents, where are they from originally?
Barbados.
And so I know that you left school with minimal qualifications.
That's right. Yeah.
So what was it that made you decide to go back and further your education?
I think, I don't know, I regretted not fulfilling my schooling, actually. I didn't finish, and I thought I could, or should, do finish my education, or continue, should I say, not finish, because you never finish, but continue with my education. So that was it, really.
So you're a teacher here at Helsden, so how did that start?
It started when I was finishing my degree at uni, at UEA. I thought, right, I could have gone back to my previous employment, which is painting and decorating, which I love. It was a great job. And however, I was looking and talking to some people, and they said that you should, try something else.
Because there aren't many black teachers in Norwich, and there aren't that many black students in Norwich.
No.
So what would you say that was like? Has it made things harder for you?
It's been a benefit to both, really, because when I first was finishing my degree and so on and so forth in the PGC, I was in my local pub and I was sitting with some old boys, some old Norwich, but some white guys, and I had in my head that I was going to go either back to London or to Manchester or Leeds, where there are black students, more black students, because I thought that that's where the students could relate to me more, and me them. So I said to the old boys, I said, what are you going to do when you finish? I said, I want to go to London and work with black kids. And one of these old boys actually said to me, well, don't you think the white kids here need you, or need to work with you? And I just, some old boy said, and I sort of stopped and looked at him. He said, well, like you just said, there's no black teachers here, so don't you think that there's a benefit here for you to stay? And that's what I did. So I think initially, when students see me, they're like, they stand their step, but after a while they don't realise I'm just Mr. Lewis to them, and that's it, because once you form a relationship with someone, do you know what I mean, colour or isn't really an issue, as it were, do you know what I mean, with that person, so they just see me as Mr. Lewis, and so it's good, it's a healthy relationship, yeah.
So far, what would you say were your greatest achievements in that out of life?
Going back into education, right, going to college, then uni, do you know what I mean, it's not the fact that I had to, gain a degree in a PGC, is the fact that I walked into the uni or the college. That was really hard. Do you know what I mean? Because I put loads of barriers up, saying, I can't do this because I haven't got that, I haven't got this, and used my past and history to stop myself doing it. But, you have to sort of man up and go in. When I did that, I think that's the greatest achievement. The first day at college was...
Who would you say were some of your role models?
My parents, definitely, because you look at role models. I had it relatively easy compared to my parents when they first got here. Do you know what I mean? And they had some really hard times, and they fought against them, and they raised all us kids to think in a certain way and whatever. So they're my role models,
He's African. He was African American. He was born in 1807 in New York. His parents, I believe, was free people. Now, there was no slavery in New York. He got into theatre. First of all, he was taught at called a free school, which was supported by a lot of sort of benefactors. And he realised that he wasn't going to get very far as an actor in the United States. So he decided to move to England.
And how are things any different in England?
Well, things were different in the sense that there was no slavery in England in the 1830s. There was this very big campaign to end slavery, but there was no slavery, and there probably was, as there was in the 18th century, a sizable black population, free black population. And he just got it into his head that if he was going to make it as an actor, it probably would be in England.
So where did he start when he came to England? How did he start to get involved with the
Well, he got involved doing Shakespearean roles, and he was probably the first black man to actually play Othello. It's a black character.
And what would you say his main achievements were?
His main achievements was to be an actor, a black actor, in a time when he was probably the only one. He was really an extraordinary man in extraordinary times where black people were visible but still invisible. They weren't getting, he was trying to show people that we are, very much we are artistic sensibilities. We can be involved in the arts. We don't have to be restricted in certain small kinds of roles. And people like Paul Robeson do refer to him and say, because of him, that's why I'm doing what I do now.
And so you would definitely say he was a good role model for a young person?
I would definitely say.
I didn't have any local role models before starting this project. I think because I thought a role model was somebody that was doing what I wanted to do. My local role model was Edwin Lewis, and he's a teacher at Helsden High School. When I chose him, I didn't know very much about him, but I wanted to know more. I picked up some good interviewing skills, I think, like learning how to ask the questions properly and get the most out of the person. When speaking to him, I learned that he actually had a passion for what he did, and he enjoyed it, and it wasn't just a job for him. Actually, after speaking to him, the thought of being a teacher didn't seem as bad. My national role model was Ira Aldridge, and he was a Shakespearean actor. I enjoy studying Shakespeare, and so that was one of the things that drew me to him. I'm not quite sure why, but even when I tried to look for information on him, it wasn't that easy. And I was surprised because he'd accomplished so much, and it was a bit odd that there wasn't as much on him as I thought there should be for such an interesting person. I think what I'll take away from this project is that this year I'm going to be doing my GCSEs, and so I've learned how to interview, and research skills I think will really help with that. I think projects like this are important for young people because as well as being at school or whatever else you're doing, it's nice to have something like this to do in your spare time. I got quite a lot out of it.